sports news to supply your needs.
Sit down, tune in, it's Honolulu Cheese.
Coast to coast with the scoop that you can't believe.
Sit down, tune in, it's Honolulu Cheese.
Got the sports news to supply your needs.
Sit down, tune in, it's Honolulu Cheese.
Coast to coast with the scoop that you can't believe.
Sit down, tune in, it's Honolulu Cheese.
What's good? Welcome in and thank you for listening. I am your co-host, Jose. Joining me, as always, my good friends, my two brothers from another mother who happen to share the same mother. And their names are Ryan and Moran, and this is the Honolulu Cheese Podcast. Now, before we go ahead and jump into the podcast, as always, I just want to remind you, if you haven't already, go ahead and check us out on YouTube. We have uploaded our video content there. Sorry for not uploading last week. Unfortunately, we did have some technical difficulties with the video. We were able to salvage the audio, so that was a plus. But we will be uploading there regularly. Also on Instagram at Honolulu Cheese Podcast, and you can always listen at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get into your podcasts. With that being said, we're going to get into the episode. What's good, fellas?
What up?
Hey,
How's it going?
new intro song, huh?
Yeah.
How we feeling about it?
It actually suits us.
Yeah, I like it. Shout out to our boy Brennan for recording that and making it for us. He dropped that on us like, hey, I got something for you guys. And we decided that's what we're going to run with. So
I love it, man. And I laugh every time I hear it because it's actually Brendan's voice doing the singing. And that's all I focus on. So it's really funny and cool that he made it for us.
No,
this was without us even asking. He just literally dropped it on our head.
Yeah, and it's dope. It's it's obviously more hip hop, and it fits our what we like a little bit more than that rock intro. Nothing against the rock intro, that definitely served its purpose, but I think we're gonna run with this new intro song for a while.
Yeah, it's so good. It makes people in wheelchairs stand up.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Shout out to Javon Baker. New
Hey,
Patriots receiver.
That quote had me on the floor. Did you see the Instagram video of where the guy, he walks up to him, he's in a wheelchair, he stands up and shakes his hand? I was dying.
That's crazy.
It's actually really funny.
Oh,
yeah,
it would be so much more impressive if he actually makes that happen because he's on the Patriots.
Yeah.
Well, listen, before we actually jump into the meat and potatoes, I got to share something with the audience. I shared it with you this morning. I had literally a holy shit moment driving home from work today. Listen, I live about, give or take, 37 miles from my job. So it's all highway, so it's an easy transit, 30 minutes. I work the midnight shift, so I punch out at 5:30 a.m. Halfway home, I just feel this action, this bubble in my stomach, dude. And mind you, I'm in no man's land. Nothing's open. It's 5:45 a.m. And I have to go. Like, it hit me. I have to go. And I tell you what, it was tough. We made it. We made it to the house, just so everyone knows.
Are you sure? We
made it. It wasn't easy, but we made it. But listen, my ass was doing a whole ass P90X workout. I was sweating and everything, man. Like,
this man was fighting for his life.
Legit, because this is what makes it worse. My truck is in the shop. So I'm driving a rental right now, and all I'm thinking of is a quote that Joe Rogan said on his podcast one time. Shout out Joe Rogan. About how he couldn't make it home and he just filled his pants. He was driving home and literally just filled it. And I'm thinking this in my head as I'm driving home, bro. It was a rough
crazy.
morning.
It's crazy how when that's happening, how like hot you get and you just start thinking irrational, you know? Like,
I was sweating bullets, bro. Legit.
You described it at 5:30 in the morning as being in
bro,
no
I
man's
woke
land.
up at 6 o'clock to shower. And all I seen is no man's land, and I was dying.
Because I literally was, man. You guys know I moved out of Metro Detroit area. You know, I'm a little bit from the city.
We know.
But that's what I'm saying. So but dude, there's nothing. Like, for a good stretch of miles there, I'm shot. And then on top of that, it's pre 6 a.m. What's open? Not even McDonald's.
Well, the thing too is you're on the highway. You're not even in a wooded area where you can go all caveman, wipe with the leaves, that whole business. So
Bro.
you're screwed either way, man.
Listen, I legitimately was contemplating, like, do I just pull over and risk it for the biscuit? Like, whatever. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, I just couldn't. I didn't know what to do. I'm glad I made it home. It was
Me too.
rough, bro. It was rough.
Me too. And
What
if that
time-
happens during the pod, we can always pause and resume.
I'm good now. I'm good. But yeah, had to share that with you guys. But
Did you make it to the bathroom like Flush Gordon?
yes, I was Flush Gordon. When I tell you, I sent you guys the GIF of the guy literally just wiping his forehead. Like, that was legit me. Like, the relief of making it to the toilet was
It's like that scene from Dumb and Dumber where he's just, like his legs are hiked up.
yes, bro.
Yeah.
That was me this morning. I felt so good.
Well,
It was such a relief.
I'm happy for you, bro. That's a great feeling.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, we had to share that on the pod because
Yeah.
man, I know everybody's been there before, at least
Hey,
once.
Yes.
sphincter stories are the best by far.
Hey, my sphincter got a workout this morning for show.
We can wipe this topic away and start whenever you guys are
Oh,
ready.
boy.
and
All
we'll-
right, just go ahead and flush that one. Nah, but
What a
No-
shitty start to the pod, am I right?
all right. But no, obviously it's no secret. Draft this past weekend, and it was great, man. It was amazing. Obviously, Detroit hosted it. We are from Metro
Mhm.
Detroit, and man, I gotta say, it was great. It really was. I was able to get down there on Thursday. I got into Ford Field as a season ticket holder. They were holding an event for us, so that was nice. And thankfully, I did because, man, I couldn't get into the draft. It was an hour before, or 30 minutes before it even started, before the national anthem. They sent the text message on the app saying we've reached max capacity, and 275,000 people, both day one and day two, 775,000 total for the weekend, smashing the record set by Nashville. And
Mhm.
I gotta say, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to see. It was a pleasure to watch, just to see the city, to hear people talk about the city of Detroit the way they did. It was great, man. What'd you guys think?
I loved it, man. Day one of the draft, just turning on ESPN and NFL Network and just seeing the camera pan over that sea of people. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I knew it was going to be a good turnout. I didn't in a million years expect that. And it's funny because, like, the past couple of years, you had that countdown right by the Quicken Loans building of the draft. It's in this many days or whatever, and people were ripping on it. And that's all I could think of when it actually came, because that stayed in people's minds and that reminded them that, like, dude, this is coming.
Mhm.
And we showed out, man. They put on a great show and it was awesome. Like, there's no other way around it.
It's funny that countdown, when we used to walk by it, we would be like, man, look how cheap this thing looks. This is going to be terrible. Because obviously they didn't put a lot of effort into a countdown timer. Like, who cares?
Right.
But a lot of people thought it was going to be a foreshadow for the draft, and it was like completely the opposite.
Did you guys hear about that beat writer from Chicago who was claiming that Detroit didn't have the infrastructure to support it? This is after the draft started and we had that amazing turnout. And he was like, Detroit can't
I was
handle
one of
this."
those people. I thought that the hotel situation was going to be a problem. It may have been. I don't know. But I didn't think. I think the same thing. It's going to be the same issue with Green Bay. There's not a lot of hotels.
Yeah.
It's going to be worse for Green Bay. So I'm interested to see what happens next year. There's like 3 hotels in Green Bay, literally.
Yeah. So the NFL and the city of Detroit and I heard that Visit Detroit as well. They did a really good job of getting people in and busting them in, because you're right. There's the number of hotels in downtown is limited, right? And I mean, even Windsor, which is just a short drive across the bridge or under the tunnel, those hotels were sold out. So a lot of people had to stay outside of the city, but they had shuttles for everybody. And to be honest, bro, I had no issues personally when I went down there. I had a parking garage pass. I went right from the freeway to my parking garage, and then when I was ready to leave, got right out of the parking garage and right onto the freeway, like easy. I thought it was going to be a headache. My brother took his kids on Sunday, no issues. I know people who, excuse me, went both days as well, both Thursday and
Saturday,
Friday.
you mean?
Yeah, no, my brother went Sunday, but I know people who went Friday,
Oh,
Thursday and Friday, and they had no issues at all either traveling, regardless whether it was parking and getting a shuttle or just driving yourself down there. Everything was good. I heard no issues about any traffic or any of that. So I think the infrastructure held up.
Yeah, I mean the only thing is parking got a little crazy. Like I did see lots posted
That's
online of like $100, but find another place. Like
that's
there's so many
that's
spots,
same thing at Lions games. It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
and there's
But there
always other
were
spots.
there were other spots. So in this case, like Wayne State, I didn't know this. My wife told me that you could park there for $10, and they were shuttling people.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
that was sweet. Um, but no, all in all, it was a great turnout. The city looked amazing. There was no incidents. We didn't make the news for any of the wrong reasons. Thankfully, it was all good. It was all positive.
Mhm.
A lot of people from outside of the city were impressed with Detroit, so it's always good for us. And I guess it's for me. I want to ask you guys: do you think that the NFL or other leagues, after this turnout and how well the city handled it, will consider Detroit for future events, a la maybe another Super Bowl coming back or NBA All Star Weekend, things of that nature? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, like you said, no incidents. The biggest thing I seen on Instagram was like 10, 15 guys ran over a steel fence.
I
Right.
saw that.
Like,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
barricade or whatever.
but the barricade, yeah. But yeah, I think WrestleMania will be here soon. I think I should say this. I think the only thing that's not coming back here is UFC. But that's more because everyone was just fighting in the crowd. It has nothing to do with infrastructure, this, that. And
Mm.
people that watch UFC are built up anyways. That's why they watch it. So
Yeah,
I think everything else will be here.
no, I agree. Especially, I know that Dana White, and he doesn't. I don't think he holds our governor with high regard. So I don't think they'll be back. The UFC will be back until Gretch is out. But
Yeah, for sure.
Big Gretch could take him.
I,
No, but I think Detroit's a much different city in 2024 than it was in 2006 when we hosted the Super Bowl. I thought we got that back in the day just because we had a new stadium and let's check it out and it's a dome and whatever, But I think it's a much better experience almost 20 years later. And yeah, I see no reason to bring stuff like this back. It was awesome. There's no other way to say it.
no reason to not bring stuff like this back.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's what I meant, to not bring it back.
Right. No, I agree. It was amazing. I'm happy for the city, man. 775,000.
That's crazy,
Insane. Yeah, that was insane.
it's crazy that it's that many people, and like you said, not one bad thing happened.
Not one.
Like if the biggest complaint is we spent $100 on parking, we'll take that all day.
For real. I know. But hey, let's actually get into the draft. And we were talking about topics for this week. The idea of draft grades came up and we quickly said no, we're not about that. Everyone does that. It's kind of boring at this point. So we decided there's some different discussion topics. So let's start with, what was the biggest surprise of the draft for you guys?
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Mito.
Jay.
You can take it. All right, I got you. Cool. So I got two, if you don't mind.
Oh, please. Do tell.
Do tell. Yeah, the first one, I couldn't believe that the Raiders took Brock Bowers, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
Just with them investing in Michael Mayer last year, he had a decent rookie season. I mean, it wasn't great, but we saw flashes of what he could be. For me, I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me that of all the things that they needed, they just chose to go tight end. I understand it was probably best player available at that time for them. It was just a little weird for me. But the most surprising thing is that 6 quarterbacks went in the top 12, which was an NFL record. And then not another one went for 137 picks in round 5, which is also an NFL record. That's the most picks between quarterbacks. So I thought that was surprising and interesting. You had the big just boom of the quarterbacks go, and then not another one for a long time. And that 7th quarterback being Spencer Rattler.
So about that, do you guys think that 6 of the first 12 picks were quarterbacks because the quarterbacks are so good this year, or strictly based on team need? Because I lean the latter, where these teams are just so desperate for a quarterback that they're taking that guy.
Yeah.
Desperation.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, Bo Nix went over Brock Bowers. Like, what are we doing?
Right. No, for sure. And it's simply because, I mean, we talked about it. Who were they going to start? If they didn't draft
Right.
Bo Nix, who are they starting?
Yeah, but since when did that matter though? Like we always watch teams build. It's not always quarterback first. Like I think the Raiders lucked out by there not being a quarterback left, to be honest with you. They took the best player available rather than a project or a stretch, because I think we can agree that every quarterback is a project / stretch, except maybe Caleb Williams, and even that you don't know what you're getting. Um, and I think we've seen in the past 5 years that quarterbacks that start right away, besides C.J. Stroud, because I know you guys are going to throw that at me, they don't do well. So
No, that's fair.
it's not. I don't know. It's the 6 out of 12 thing is weird. I won't mention names. I don't want to call anyone out, but there's a lot of quarterbacks that I don't think should have went first round. But like Ryan said, it's a desperation.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard because these top picks at quarterback these past few years have not been impressive. Like you look at Trevor Lawrence, you look at Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. Like you can just go down the list of first round quarterbacks. Oh, Mac Jones. He's been so bad that I didn't even think of him when I said that. You know what I mean? Like he's just out of my radar now. But yeah, I mean, you go down the list and it's like, yeah, you do have some hits in there like Stroud. I think Richardson has something. But I don't know, man. It's been a lot more misses than hits lately. And with 6 of these guys, like for me, I'm thinking at least 4 of them do not pan out. And
I was just gonna say, throw out a number.
yeah, four of them for me. Like I'll choose the 4 if you want me to, but I think Caleb will be good, and I think Drake May will be good. Other than that, I don't have faith in any of these guys, to be honest with you.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd say 5 of them. I don't like anybody in this quarterback class. It's crazy.
So who's your one?
And Drake May.
Really?
I'm not saying.
Wow.
I'm not saying a bear is my one. Fuck that guy. Excuse my language. I'm good.
I do.
But
Agree
yeah,
with
I like
Mito,
Drake.
though. Yeah, I sorry to cut you off. I was just gonna say I like Drake May the best out of all of them for sure.
I know we hate to talk about it, but like Drake May has a swag to him that I like. I don't know what it is, but I think something's there. And I don't. On the flip side of things, I think Caleb Williams' swag or lack thereof bothers me.
Okay. Well, what were your guys' biggest surprises?
I mean, the obvious one, Michael Penix. I don't want to say that because it's so obvious, but
You kind of have to.
Come on, man. Like, you take Michael Penix, okay, cool. So when you sign Kirk Cousins, are you worried about his knee? Are you worried about him as a player? Like, what are you doing there? And then, oh, he was our second best player on the board. Okay, trade down. He's gonna be there.
So there were reports that came out after that there were a few teams trying to trade up for Michael Penix. So they, take it for what you will, but those reports did come out. And then also, I mean, they also came out and said that they're kind of taking a page out of your guys' book, Mito, where, hey, we're going to ride with Kirk Cousins for these 4 years and we're going to let Michael Penix sit. The problem with that, though, is I believe Michael Penix is already 25 or 26 years old. So there's
what's the other major problem of that comparison?
Good, tell me.
Kirk Cousins hasn't played a game for your franchise. What route are you taking? You didn't have to do that.
No, I agree. It was definitely shocking. To be honest, Michael Penix was one of my favorite quarterbacks in the draft. I believe that he's gonna do well. It's just it's kind of unfortunate for him because he knows he's sitting. It may work out for him. It may not. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a shock for Atlanta. They do have other needs. However, pre-draft, we all said that we think they're going to win this division. I think they're good enough to win that division. So I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, I still do today. So I think they'll be fine. It was just shocking.
Am I allowed to backtrack?
Yeah, you can backtrack.
I think this is going to give Atlanta a bad season because of this. What is the locker room supposed to believe? Are we winning? Are we planning for the future? Like, I don't think it helps.
Well, and to your point there, it's a new coaching staff too. When you're already trying to build this culture, you're trying to undo Arthur Smith and his shenanigans. For me, it's like I don't care about the age so much. Like, I've never understood that. Unless you're Brandon Whedon getting drafted at 28 years old. Like, the age doesn't bother me. Because you know why? Like, quarterbacks play until their late 30s nowadays.
Sure.
Like, he can start playing at 26, 27 years old and have a great Hall of Fame career. Like, you never know. And I disagree with Mito in that if you trade down, you don't know that you're going to get him. Because look what happened after 6 out of the first 12 guys were quarterbacks, and they were flying. And if you have your guy, and he was the Falcons' second highest rated quarterback, I'm guessing behind Caleb, then they must not have had faith that they would have got him. And I don't blame them, seeing how the draft board turned out.
If you trade down and don't get him, what do you end up with? Kirk Cousins. What's the problem?
Yeah. I think they committed to that philosophy of we are taking our guy to sit. And hey, the reason it looked way smarter when the Packers did it was because Jordan Love was a late first round pick. This was a top 8 pick. That's a premium draft pick where you could have gotten the best edge rusher, which you need. You could have gotten anything you wanted. You could have taken Romo Dunze and been totally fine. I don't know. I don't agree with the pick. I think it sucked.
So, speaking of sucked, who do you guys think had a sneaky great draft then? And please don't say the Lions. We're going to talk about the NFC North. Please.
I have one.
Go
ahead.
I was going to say the Los Angeles Chargers. And I do really like their draft, especially when you look at the first 2 picks. First one being Joe Alt, who I'll go on record right now. Actually, no, I'll save that for later for our stake our claim. But Joe Alt's going to be a great player. And
way to go out on a limb.
No, I know, but okay, fine. I'll just say it now. I think looking back in this in 5 years, I think he will be the best player of this class. Not even close. I think he will be that dominant force, especially when you have Rashawn Slater on the other end of that line supporting him. You could not have helped Justin Herbert more past getting him a Pro Bowl receiver. And speaking of receiver, they went and hit him with Lad McConkey from Georgia, who reminds me so much of prime Hunter Renfrow. I'm not sure if you guys, not just because of the skin color, I swear, but it's I do think the style of play is similar, where he's going to be that guy who's constantly open 8 to 10 yards down the field. He gets separation. He's quick. He's not going to win that many jump balls or whatever, but he will get open, and he will be a great target for Herbert. So I really like
the chains.
how they help their offense in both the trenches and with a weapon.
Yeah. Excuse me. For me, and I know you guys are gonna laugh at me. My sneaky good draft is the Washington Commanders,
this
bro.
Guy, bro.
Hey,
my God.
Hey, listen. Shout out to Dan Quinn and the staff over there, bro. They did a really good job.
Now it's shout out to Dan Quinn. Oh, what
hey, I don't like him, but bro, hey, I'm a realist though. I mean, you look at their draft; it was a good draft, bro. Obviously, they get their quarterback. That remains to be seen. We're gonna see how that pans out. But then they get Johnny Newton or Jazan Newton from Illinois. Everyone thought he was going in the first. Probably would have if it wasn't for that run of 14 offensive players, right? Then they come back and take Mikey Sainristil from U of M. Beast. Love that kid. He's going to step right in and fill in for Kendall Fuller, who they lost. So that's a big, it's a big deal for them. And then Ben Sinnott, Logan Thomas is up there. That was one of the higher rated tight ends of the draft. I mean, I just feel like they filled a lot of needs, and then they went guard and then wide receiver and Christian McCaffrey's little brother Luke.
I was gonna say, yeah.
So bro, that's a nice draft. I can't hate. I don't, I'm on record saying I don't like the Commanders, but they did well. I think they nailed the draft, to be honest.
Zay's gonna be a Commanders fan by the end of the year.
Hey.
We're gonna pull up episodes 3 and 4 where he was just dogging them.
That's gonna be a reel for sure, and then we're gonna catch him one day in a Commanders jersey, sitting by himself.
Only a Mikey jersey.
It's gonna be him talking trash in the early episodes, and then we're gonna do a record scratch, and it's gonna be that's me. I was a hater on the Commanders for a long time.
Hey, they had a
what
good
about
draft.
you?
Oh, I already said mine. You say yours.
I hate this team as well, so Jose, you can rip on me too. But man, I think the Buffalo Bills knocked it out of the park. I really do. I love Keon Coleman. Shout out Macy's. I love Cole Bishop, defensive end. And then, excuse me if I pronounce this name, but the linebacker, Edefuan or whatever.
Ulofo Shio, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I like their draft. I really do. I think they shied away from making the big name pick, even though Keon Coleman is that guy. But other than that, I think they just filled needs, and a lot of guys that are, I want to say, team guys, and I think we can all, you know, explain why that's such a big deal after trading Stephon Diggs. I think there's a lot of high character guys on this draft list for them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't do draft grades either, but they killed it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I think Buffalo's gonna get a real kick out of Keon Coleman. That guy seems like a character, man.
Man, we had so many characters in this draft. I feel like you have Xavier. How do you say his name? Is it Ligeti, from the receiver?
Leggett,
Thank
yeah.
you. The receiver for Carolina, who everyone's putting that Waterboy clip of Bobby Boucher because his southern accent is so strong.
That's an accent, bro.
Shout out to Peacock who mentioned that to me. I could not stop laughing when I saw that.
Yeah, that's.
I could listen to that guy all day.
It's funny. That's a country accent if I've ever heard one.
Bro, it's so thick. It's incredible.
Yeah,
it really is.
So, all right. Well, speaking of biggest, sneaky good drafts. What non-quarterback rookie do you think makes the biggest impact for their team next season? You start,
Go ahead, Mito.
No, go ahead, Ryan. I want to hear this.
I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to say Brian Thomas Jr. for Jacksonville. He's not getting that much attention. They just lost Calvin Ridley. And I hesitate because they already have Evan Ingram. They have Travis Etienne. And they have Lawrence, who I have not been the biggest fan of, and I think he's largely underperformed. But you still got Christian Kirk there. And I think that Brian Thomas is going to slide right in and be a good fit. There's not too much pressure on you. You're not the wide receiver one, and you're not going in there to be that. But I think he gives them that, that vertical stretch that they've been looking for that Ridley just, it didn't happen last year. And he was so inconsistent. And I think, that offense just needs a year where everyone is just together and healthy and doing their thing. Same coaching staff, no more changes, and we're good to go. So I think he's in a good situation.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't care if I'm a homer. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
I love Javon Bullard. I love that guy. He's just a head knocker. And, man, I'm so excited for him. I really am. But I think him and X as safeties is going to be wild. I think it's going to be really fun. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, no, it was a good pick for you guys for sure.
It was.
That's my impact, and I think it's more not just a personal impact. I think it'll motivate the defense as a whole because there's a lot of head knockers on that team now. So it'll be a good time.
Not only that, I saw when he got drafted that the coaches were raving about his leadership and his personality and being a locker room guy too. So I think that's big for you guys.
Every player the Packers drafted was a team captain.
Is that right?
Yes. Leadership.
Okay.
But we
Just
have to
telling
mention
you.
real quick, and we're going to do our recap soon of the North too, but Mito, what was your initial reaction to the Jordan Morgan pick? All of our fans want to know, bro.
I mean, I told you guys we're going to draft a lineman. I don't get why everyone was coming at me.
But was it
I-
that
I
lineman
will-
though?
No, I will tell you 100%. I thought it would be Mims, but the guy was drafted ahead of us. You can't draft the same guy twice. So the fact that we stayed with line, it didn't surprise me. Did I think it would be Jordan Morgan? No. But did I think Mims would be there? Yeah. But adding to the best offensive line in football can't hurt.
Bro, how are you guys the best offensive line in football?
Yeah,
We are.
that's such a ridiculous thing to say.
Anyways.
Our line's actually better in every single way, but whatever.
Facts.
Let's not go down that road.
No, but I do think, to touch on what you were saying, Moran, is while the player was a surprise, the position wasn't, right? And yeah, there may have been higher offensive linemen available, or higher graded, I should say, in whoever's opinion, but they were either, they were interior linemen. You guys wanted to tackle, clearly. You guys targeted tackle. and you wouldn't have got your guy. But it was a surprise.
And the crazy thing is, the last 4 years it's been now, we haven't had certainty at the tackle because of Bakhtiari. And we would always be asking, is he back? No pun intended. So now we want guys that start. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully his health is there. It hasn't been an issue. I know he tore an ACL before, but he came back from it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Tearing an ACL at age 22, 23 is a lot different than what happened to back. So it's not the same scenario.
Right.
I will say I got a kick out of it because I was watching the draft with Mito in my basement, and he did that thing where your team makes a questionable pick, and you're clapping, you're supportive, and whatever. But he had a look on his face, and I was like, "Who the is that guy?"
I mean, what did you want me to do? A somersault?
No, I'm just saying it was funny because I don't think anyone expected them to go that way or for that guy to go in the first round. But not to hate on the kid at all. Like I looked up, his stats came out after the pick, not allowing sacks like ever in college. So good pick. Like I'm not hating on the pick itself. I just thought it was funny because no one knew who that dude was.
Yeah.
No, that's true. My player that's going to make the biggest impact, top 5 pick, Marvin Harrison Jr. for me. And it's simply because of the void he's filling in Arizona. Excuse me. They need a wide receiver out there, right? They need someone for Kyler to throw the ball to. And Kyler, once he came back, played well. He played well after the injury. I was surprised to see it, but he did. He played well. So I think that he'll have the biggest impact. Also, Arizona, for being such a bad team, they were very tough to play against.
Killed it.
Yeah, they were always
well coached.
in game. Yeah, right. They were always in games. They were well coached. They were scrappy. Obviously, Jonathan Gannon's doing a good job over there with those guys. They believe in him. So I think adding a piece like Marvin Harrison, if he is who we think he's going to be, I think they'll be good.
I see what you did there. Dennis Green, Arizona.
Hey!
Okay, got it.
I wish I had the
cool,
drop.
hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. We got it, bro. This guy, man. I can't even find it. We can do this one.
There you go.
Do this one. Whatever you want to do.
All
Great
right.
job, bro. No, I think Arizona had a great draft in general, though. I really like Trey Benson out of Florida State too. I think he could
nice
be
player.
an awesome pick for them. James Conner, it feels like he's been here forever. I know he's relatively young, but his tires have
Did
some.
you
wear
guys
on
know
it.
he had cancer?
No
Okay.
way.
Yeah.
Did you know that Stafford and Kershaw were best friends growing up?
Bro.
All right. Well, let's get a little more focused on the NFC North here because I just want to go through what you guys think about each team and where their draft is and just what you thought. And we can start with the Vikings because we haven't talked about them too much to this point. Everyone had JJ McCarthy going there and he did land there. And I like the trade of going up to 10 to make sure you get your guy. What do you guys think of JJ? Like, what's going to happen there?
Listen, I thought JJ should have went back to school, right? Obviously, it paid off for him, man. He's a top pick in this year's draft. He's a first rounder. I didn't think he would be last fall, had you asked me that question, but he is. So it worked out. We didn't get to see enough of JJ throwing the ball for me to have a strong opinion. But I do know from watching him play as a Michigan fan that he does have the intangibles. He can play the game at a high level, right? He did that. He won a national championship last year on the back of a running game, though, right? So for me, obviously, I mean, it's an easy cliche. It's all going to be how he develops. But Kevin O'Connell is a good coach. They have the weapons around him. It's just it's not a bad situation to get drafted in when you can throw the ball to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and T.J. Hawkinson. You know what I mean? They just picked up Aaron Jones. They can give him the ball. It's just how are they going to use JJ and how does he develop? I think he'll be okay, but I don't know if necessarily you want to throw him in right away. I don't know if he's going to be their week 1 starter, but I do think that he'll be fine.
That's the thing. You want him to develop, but with what time?
Right.
Like where? Like I want to say thank you for admitting that based on what he's done, he shouldn't be here. Not seeing enough of him is what you said, which is fair. It okay if Michigan in the playoff loses their first game by 30, is he drafted in the first round?
No.
I don't
Well,
think so.
first round maybe, not top 10 though.
I don't think it's even first round.
Yeah, maybe not.
Like literally winning a national championship catapulted this guy to a top 10 pick, and we know nothing about him. And the last guy to be drafted with intangibles was who? Marcus Mariota. That worked. The guy before that, just intangibles. You didn't know about his arm. Tim Tebow. Yeah, we prayed that work would too. That would be work too. That was pun intended. How'd that go? Like, I don't know, man. I'm very thankful for Minnesota and Chicago to put all their eggs in the quarterback basket. Very thankful.
JJ did go to the best situation possible, though. I agree. I think even when Kirk went down last year, and Kirk always did well, when Nick Mullins first stepped in, he saw success. Like we saw, wasn't it Josh Dobbs have success there too? Like I think you have a coach who puts his quarterback in good spots, but those backups I just named, they gave what they got, but they just weren't good enough to keep it up for a long time. But I think JJ, if there's any team you can step in and be good with quickly at the level you're at, it is Minnesota. But it's also a very tough division. So,
the toughest.
Yeah, I think it's the best division in football. I agree with you. So, I mean, I hope he's ready. But I don't think he's starting week 1, to be honest.
You know what would have been a perfect situation for JJ? And they would have got less flack for it? Atlanta.
Yeah.
It would actually make sense to sit him. But we'll see. I do love it, though, because it can blow up in their face.
It could.
It literally could.
It could.
It literally could.
What about the Bears? What about obviously we all knew they were taking Caleb Williams, right? And man, I feel like, to be honest, everyone for the last few months knew what they were doing at 1-9, and it just played so perfectly for them getting Caleb and Odunze. And man, it's kind of like what we were talking about with JJ. Obviously, Caleb's more proven at the college level as a thrower, but what's he gonna do? Like it's like Moran said, they're putting their eggs in that quarterback basket, right? And their success is as far as he can take them. I'm interested to see, man, this division, if Caleb turns out good, if JJ can develop, Jordan Love stays doing what he's doing, Goff keeps playing at a high level, this division is going to be very, very tough. It's already going to be tough. It's only going to get tougher if those two young guys do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. For those people who don't understand the Rome pick, because there are a lot of people out there who are saying we have Keenan and DJ Moore. Why do we need another receiver? Get better at different areas. But Rome really is that good to where if it wasn't for those two receivers ahead of him who are that good too, he would have been the first receiver taken in so many other years. So, I mean, the Bears just lucked out, man. Like they should be sending Carolina fruit baskets for the next 20 years. You know, like it's just crazy how much they got from that trade.
Yeah.
Not only that, with Rome, you get him for 5 years with that player option. The two receivers they have aren't making it 5 years with them. It's safe to say.
Yeah.
Especially Keenan Allen, obviously. So I like that pick a lot. The Bears have always been the team that you know what they should do and they try to get cute and do something different. It's refreshing for them to make the right picks because we know what they need. Like, you would have drafted a defensive project for what? Rome could be a Pro Bowler this year or next year. So I don't mind it. And you already put all your chips in with Caleb Williams. Get him the guy he wants. They were throwing to each other the day before on the same plane, like they're boys.
Yeah.
Make him happy.
Well, we touched on this a little bit last week, and I know a lot of people were upset when the Lions took Rakestraw in the second round. We took another corner? Like, what are we doing? But look at the receivers in this division. Like, we literally listed them last week. Like, the Vikings have two great receivers in Addison and Jefferson. The Packers have four guys who can hurt you on any given week. Pick one. The Bears just got, I don't know about five. The Bears just got Odunze and Keenan and DJ Moore. Like, you need bodies out there. You can't God bless him, but you can't march Kendall Vildor and Josh Jacobs out anymore and hope to win a Super Bowl. It's not possible.
Jerry Jacobs.
Yeah, you
What did
wish
I
you had
say?
Josh. Relax.
You said
Oh,
Josh
Josh.
Jacobs.
God
Yeah.
darn it.
You
No,
wish.
but no. To touch on what Ryan's saying, honestly, because let's just go ahead and we'll jump right into the lines. Excuse me. We spent a lot of draft capital on the secondary. It's no secret, right? A first round pick. We traded essentially both third round picks for corners, and Carlton Davis one, and then one was to get Terry and Arnold. And then we took Anis Rexstraw in the second round. Brad Holmes came out and said the plan wasn't to do that. It just, the board fell the way it fell. We've been taking best available since he's been here, and that's where Rakestraw was when it was time to pick in the second round. I have no issues with it because, like Ryan just said, Jerry Jacobs was a starting cornerback last year. Kendall
long time.
Vildor was a starting quarterback on an NFC championship team, real quick. And just let me give you guys some stats real fast, just so I can, because a lot of people are so caught up in the recency that they I think they forgot last year. Let me give you some stats second half of the year from last year, okay? Against teams' best receivers. These are the numbers, okay? Second half of the year in playoffs. Keenan Allen, 11 catches, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns. DJ Moore, 7 catches, 96 yards, a touchdown. Christian Watson, 5 catches, 94 yards, touchdown. Olave, 5 catches, 119 yards. Justin Jefferson, 2 games against him, 6 catches, 141 yards, touchdown. 12 catches, 192 yards, touchdown. There's more. Just wait. CeeDee Lamb, 13 catches, 227 yards, and a touchdown. Going to the playoffs, Puka Nacua, 9 for 181 and a touchdown. Mike Evans, 8 for 147 and a touchdown. And then, of course, we're going to give an honorable mention to Brandon Ayuk, 3 for 68 and a touchdown off of Kendall Vildor's face mask. Okay? We were awful, especially the second half of last year. We were 29th against the pass, and we also gave up the most passing yards and receiving yards in the playoffs last year. You can't win like that. You guys want to have Super Bowl aspirations. You guys want to go back. That needed to be fixed, and I feel like we addressed it.
Can I say something about that though?
Yeah, of course.
Because it's not being talked about.
Yeah,
Yes, your pass defense was awful. Correct.
trash.
But let's trash. Fine, whatever you want to call it. The poop you had on the way to your work. Whatever you want to call it. Your pass defense absolutely trash. Your pass rush was also trash at the end of the year. So when you have a quarterback sitting there going like this all day, it's easy to get pass completions. So the fact that that wasn't addressed doesn't make sense.
Well, it was.
So hold on.
Okay, go
let
ahead.
me finish my
right.
my point. So you invested a first round pick, a second round pick, 2/3, and then you got nobody to team with Hutch except DJ Reader. He's more of a run stuffer than a pass rusher. I think we can all agree on that. That's the problem with the draft. You addressed the cornerback need, yes, but you didn't address why your cornerbacks are so bad. You think your cornerbacks are just that bad because your pass rush was amazing? We've talked about this. An average corner will be better with an elite pass rush. Correct?
Yes.
That's the issue. I think that's the major issue.
I understand what you're saying there, but let's just look at the whole picture. Hutch is elite. We're going to throw that out there right now. And then on top of that, James Houston will be back next year. Say what you will about him. He wasn't there all last season. They signed Marcus Davenport. We don't know what he's going to be. We have to wait and see. Also, we don't know this. It's still not a complete product. There's a long way to go to September, right? We still have post June 1st cuts. There's going to be some turnaround. So we don't know yet.
We're judging the team as of now.
As
the
of
hype
now.
with the hype with James Houston, I will never understand. I don't think he's all that. I'm not hating either.
8 sacks
He has
in
the-
6 games in his rookie year, whatever it was.
Cool. A lot of people have done that.
No,
The guy that went.
he's the only
Hader-
one who did that, actually.
No, hold on. Yes, he's the only one to set that record. But that guy that you guys had prior, Hadar, whatever his name was,
Kerry Hyder.
Kerry Hyder. He had a great rookie
last
year
one,
as
yeah.
well, and everyone was, where's he at right now?
Yeah,
Like-
that
Oh,
was a little
that's a
bit
fair
different.
point. I mean, whatever. Like, he got hurt. He was overcoming injury last year. We didn't expect the same thing. He's healthy now. We'll see what happens. We do still, there's a lot of guys on this team who do things that don't get a lot of attention. Like, Charles Harris gets sacks. I can look up the number right now and we can talk about that. Like, John Kaminsky gets in people's faces and gives Hutch help sometimes. Yeah, we didn't address it in the draft as much as
Or
people
free
were
agency.
hoping. Well, we got Davenport and Reader. That helps the line a little bit. But, bro, the, the, the same fans who are criticizing us for allowing 400 yards to every quarterback we play are the ones mad about us really beefing up our secondary. Like, I get you want to address both, but Jose mentioned it already, like best player available. I'd rather have the fourth best corner than the seventh best edge who's not graded that high anyway for you on your board. So, I mean, how many times do we have to have faith in Brad to be proven wrong? I don't understand.
Okay. So can we address with what you gave up why you didn't just go get the best corner in free agency?
Well, who's more expensive, and you
Okay.
don't have him for as long.
I mean, you do if you sign him for 5 years or whatever he was signed for. I'm just saying the capital that was invested did not make sense for what Snead got. And if you guys are just relying on elite corners with no pass rush, because right now, based on what you have, that's what we're looking at. So I think it was heavily invested. And if you guys don't have a pass rush, I promise you we'll be back here next year saying, why were we ranked 24th?
Oh, the way I see it, we were up 24-7 on our way to the Super Bowl with no pass rush and a garbage secondary. Like, we can get back. And we've gotten better as a defense this offseason. We just have. So time will tell. But I have faith in Brad, man. I'm not going to shake it until he proves me wrong.
That's fine.
No, I agree. And just to touch on the other picks real quick, I'll be the first to tell you I had no idea who Giovanni Manu was.
Nobody did.
Okay.
Anyone who's acting like they did, by the way, needs to stop.
Oh, it's so annoying, bro.
I'm going on Reddit.
So
I'm saying,
annoying.
stop. Nobody
Stop.
watched him. Nobody
so
knew.
annoying.
So, no, except for, obviously the people in NFL who that's their job to know, right?
Correct.
And it came out that a lot of people, he was one of the worst kept secrets. That's what people say about him. I think he's a big guy with a lot of upside. He's a project guy. He's gonna hopefully be able to start for you at right tackle sometime down the road, right? Panay's gonna move to the left eventually, and that'll happen. I don't know. I thought it was an interesting pick. I can't say too much about it. The other player that we took in the 4th round, Sione Vaki, the safety from Utah / running back, he was linked to us for the last 4 to 6 weeks. I know that the Eagles were interested in him. The Niners were interested in him. He's one of those utility guys who can do it all. I don't really mind the pick. We brought him in for a top 30 visit. We went and did an interview with him to the pro day. Not a shock. But the 2 6-round picks are the ones that I love the most because those guys were both top 100 players on a lot of draft analysts' board, and they fell to us, which is cool, especially Wingo. Wingo was a guy that a lot of people didn't expect to be there in the 2nd round.
Mhm.
He had a down year last year due to injury, but that's just another guy to add to the trenches. And when you look at what we did outside of the corners, add in depth and development to the trenches, I'm okay with it, man. I love the draft personally. I'm very happy with it.
Bingo, you got Wingo.
Hey,
No, I think Wingo could go down as like the gem of the draft, not just for the Lions, but in general. And you are filling a need there. Like we still needed a D tackle and help on the line. And Brad has shown us time and time again, he's not worried about injury. Like he took JMO at 12, didn't care about the ACL. Like we'll wait. And especially when it's a round 6 pick, you can afford to wait a little more. I personally was not a fan of the Vaki pick, only because I don't know where he fits. And all I keep hearing is special teams, special teams, special teams. But I don't want my special teams guys taken in the 4th round. Like that's no. I mean
that's not fair to say.
I said what I said. I don't like it. I think
What do you want, a
could
starter?
I think you get more value than a gunner on special teams. Sure, he's not going to play running back. He's not getting carries over Gibbs.
No, yeah,
or
I
Montgomery.
think that's the problem is the hybrid positioning and who you guys currently have on your team, more than him playing special teams. I think that's the concern.
And honestly, if he does get carries, I'll be upset. Like you shouldn't be taking the ball out of those guys' hands. You shouldn't.
Like
I don't think he will, though. I don't think he will. It's more so Brad Holmes said that he's going to play the impact on special teams. They already know what he can do at safety. They're not worried about safety. They're intrigued to see him as a running back and an offensive playmaker. They said, then I'm just going off of what Brad Holmes said in his press conference, that they know what they're getting on the defensive side. They project that he's going to play a lot of special teams for them, but the upside on offense was very intriguing.
Well, and the one thing that's kind of like the saving grace with that is we do love going for it on special teams. And when you have a guy with ball skills and who can make a move and juke a guy out and who's a running back by trade, that'll help. So I'm hoping he can just find a fit.
I think he will.
I think it'll be fun. Just want to transition. I'm not doing the stake your claim because we're grown.
Well, wait, 1 second. Sorry, Mito. I don't mean to cut you off. We can't leave without talking about the Packers. Just a little bit, just a tad. You know,
I
know
think
we
that
mentioned
Mito was low key disappointed because he skipped right over him.
Yeah,
Not at all.
No.
Not
I
at all.
just want to
I
talk
was
about your
saving-
draft real quick.
Yeah, yeah. So we can get into the best draft in football. That's fine.
Okay, so
So from top to bottom, I don't think we missed. The one pick I didn't like really was Michael Pratt, our quarterback from Tulane. He did beat Caleb Williams in college though, on a last second drive. No big deal. But
that's at the
but-
top of his resume, by the way.
but like for real, Sean Clifford's a good backup. He'll probably be a backup for 10 years. I think Michael Pratt is maybe he surprises some people in preseason and we get some value out of him, like a 6th-round pick maybe. Who knows? I don't know. But from top to bottom, I don't have a complaint about our draft. I think our 7th-round pick is going to be a starting corner in this league very soon. I'll say that.
maybe. I think
He
Say-
had-
say his name for the pod.
Kalen King. He had a 1st-round grade on him last year. I don't know what happened. I don't know much of him, but reading into him, I thought he got hurt. I don't know why he fell to the 7th round, and you can see it on Twitter. Every NFL player was shook that he got taken in the 7th round.
Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be something there.
No,
Like you were talking about earlier, these are the guys that make the decisions that are saying, and players that are playing that are saying, "Wow, 7th-round pick, that's wild."
right.
So
Yeah,
I'm loving it.
no, I think you guys overall
No
had-
pun intended.
Okay, all right. No, I think overall you guys had a good draft though. The problem with having 11 draft picks, which you guys utilized all of them, I'm surprised, but you guys did. Hey, listen, it's just the reality. Not all of them are going to make your team, man. So I don't know if Kalen King makes your team or not, or if he's a practice squad guy or whatever. But I do like some of your picks. You guys drafted the linebacker Edrin Cooper in the 2nd round. That's a nice pick, man. Hey, it's a
I
good
like that.
pick. You get Quay a teammate, or should I say a sidekick, to line up in the middle. And then on top of that, you guys needed to replace Devondre Campbell. So that made sense. It's a good pick. Javon Bullard, we talked about him earlier, to pair up with Xavier McKinney. We knew you guys wanted to add a safety. You guys missed out on Cameron Curl in free agency, so that pick made sense. And then I do like what you guys did at running back, drafting A.J. Dillon's replacement with Marshawn Lloyd, to be honest with you. You guys had a nice draft, man. I'm not here to hate. You guys did pretty well.
A.J. Dillon will play the halfback role because Joseph DeGuara is gone. But I think A.J. Dillon is going to be on the field a lot with our running backs, and I think it's going to be that halfback / tight end role.
Yeah, I know. I think he's going to get plenty of run this year, but you guys only brought him back on the 1-year deal. Marshawn Lloyd will be the future, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, is Edrin Cooper strong enough to stop Quay from going after trainers?
Ryan, you're not going to get over that, bro?
No, man, that was awful.
You guys used to celebrate that lineman that gave the ref the finger. You guys literally used to repost
Dominic
it.
Raiola?
Yeah,
He
and
gave the fans
retweet
the
it and-
finger in Denver,
whatever.
I believe.
Yeah, and you guys used to love it, but man, Dominic Raiola, blast from the past.
His son, actually, isn't he like a great quarterback coming up?
He was the top recruit. The top recruit from last year.
That's right.
He flipped from Georgia to Nebraska, so that's going to be interesting.
Right.
Quarterback.
Yeah.
Where did he what was his dad just
Snapping him the ball. Who better?
No, I get it, but wouldn't you want to be like your dad? That's usually what we wanted to be growing up, you know?
Yeah.
I just don't get where it came from.
Yeah. Well, I do like the Edrin Cooper pick too. I'm so against AJ Dillon at this point. Just Man, what
I
a
don't know the
bad
hate
pick that
from.
was.
I really don't. I don't
He's
know the
not
hate
good,
from.
Mito. He's not
He's not good. He's not bad.
good.
He played well last year when Aaron Jones was hurt. He did.
On a good offense though. Like you
Who
put him.
cares?
Well, I'm just saying. I think you put AJ Dillon on a team like Carolina, and my God, he will
Okay,
not
so
go
does
anywhere.
that mean David Montgomery's not good because he looked like ass in Chicago? He wasn't all that.
No, he never
He
looked
wasn't
that bad in
ass.
Chicago. He was good. He was definitely better
Okay.
now though.
Okay,
He's a good back.
I mean, you can't blame a guy for being on a good offense.
No, but I don't. I just don't think he's that good. But
And he's the mayor of Door County, so
alrighty.
yeah. But I'm
Great
gonna
nickname, though.
transition. We're not gonna stake our claim because we're not 5 years old. We're gonna talk our shit. So Jose, you can start.
All right. Well, listen. It's no secret. And after the draft, I'm just that much more confident. Hey, the NFC North is ours, boys. I'm sorry to tell you, Mito. You're not. We're running it back. It's our division, bro. It's barring injury. Now, hey, look, if Jared Goff is hurt,
Here we go.
if
No,
Jared
no,
Goff
no.
gets
Talk,
hurt,
no. Talk
Here
your
we
shit.
go.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
talk
this
your
shit.
shit.
But
That-
hey,
no,
there
that's-
has to be.
that's-
I mean, bro, if Jared
No,
Goff
no,
gets
no.
hurt, come on, you know.
No,
But
no, there's no contingency.
I have faith in
Talk your
Hendon
shit.
Hooker to carry us. The rest of the
okay,
There you
way.
go. There you
you
go.
have faith. Hey, I hope
There you
he
go.
does. But look, end of the day, it's our division. I feel good about it. I can't wait to see what happens with this offseason and these post June 1 cuts. And if we add some more depth, I would love to see maybe a Tyler Boyd. That's something that we didn't address in the draft either, was a wide receiver.
Mhm.
So I'd love to see like a Tyler Boyd brought in or another veteran, maybe DJ Chark in a reunion there. But I'm very confident that we can repeat as NFC North Division champions and make a push for the Super Bowl this year.
Does Jose talk your shit segment bother you a little? It bothers me.
Why,
You know
bro?
why? Because you're very like Ryan knows what I'm talking about. You're very like you're dipping your toe in the water, but you're like pulling it out. Like it's just a weird.
I just told you that I'm confident we're gonna repeat.
Yeah,
But
then
I
you're
also
like,
said
"Sorry."
don't clip this and show it if Jared Goff, God forbid, tears his ACL. Like
That's
that's
get
not
mad,
fair.
get mad.
That's
yeah,
not
get
fair.
mad, get mad.
I'm
Yes.
not mad. I'm not at. Listen, you know what, Mito? I'm not mad. But here you go. Take one of these.
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and three toes. I will beat your ass.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ryan. Talk
Oh,
your
what a
shit.
quote. All right. By the way, Jose just has a weird relationship with shit today, so we're gonna let him slide on this one. Okay. I believe that Xavier Worthy of the Chiefs will have 1,000 receiving yards this year. That's my claim. They've been looking for a good receiver since Tyreek Hill. Rashee Rice is definitely going to have a suspension for his shenanigans and driving all fast at probably 4 games or so. So, hey,
Bro, the
That
speed
opens the
on
door for
that
a wide
team is
receiver.
wild.
it is. It just got more wild. Travis Kelsey's getting up there. We started to see him slow down at the end of last year. Mahomes needs a weapon, and Xavier Worthy is going to be that dude to step in and be that vertical threat. And I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. 1,000 yards next year. Book it.
Book it.
I'm about to defecate all over this segment.
Ooh.
Do it. Defecate.
Packers are winning the division. No ifs, ands, or poops about it.
Even if Jordan Love gets hurt.
Even if Jordan Love gets hurt. You want Sean
Cap.
Clifford, you want Michael
Cap.
Pratt, whoever you want.
Cap.
Who?
Not Cap.
Cap.
The guy that beat Caleb Williams, Tulane, shout out.
Yeah, hell yeah. I remember that
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. But
What
no,
a day that
I truly think we have the best team in the NFC North, if not the NFC. There's no ifs, nothing. That's me talking my shit.
Talk
Carry
that
on.
shit. Hey.
And hold on. And also, I think this could be the year that we go to the Super Bowl and win it.
Oh, man.
And everyone around the world will be hearing. Carry on.
My God. Speaking of carry on, Tyrion Arnold was such a good pick that we didn't even talk about him after an hour of speaking to each other. Man, what a choice that was! What a
Juju
move.
Jr.
I'm so happy for him. Did you guys see that video of when he was like 10 years old, and he was like, "I'm gonna be the best. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go to the court." He was talking about basketball. I'm gonna go to the court. I'm gonna show him what I'm about. I love that, man. Like him grabbing the mic from that lady doing the interview. I just love everything about it. I'm very excited. So, yeah, it's gonna be a great year, boys.
No, I agree. It's actually crazy that we didn't talk about it. To be honest, I just got so caught up in defending the picks of the defensive backs that we didn't. It was more so everyone's mad about the Rakestraw pick. I don't think anyone was mad about Terry and Arnold. So
No, yeah, that one
Yeah,
it made sense.
hey,
Yeah,
keep
definitely.
calm and Terry on.
Oh boy.
There's no
Thank you. I was looking
there's
for
no
it.
way. There's no way Ryan made that up himself. There's no way. Ryan, where'd you hear that? Go ahead.
I'm capable. What do you mean?
Where'd you hear it?
Wise man never reveals his sources, Vito.
Yeah. By not revealing, you already revealed it wasn't you.
No. Yo, well, listen. With that, we're gonna wrap up this episode. We appreciate you guys as always. Shout out to the fans. Shout out to all our listeners. We really do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. If you are enjoying the content, be sure to like an episode, download an episode, subscribe to the YouTube, give us a follow, drop us a comment. We love talking to you guys on the socials, man. So please don't be shy. Drop a comment. Even if it's to bash us, give us your opinions. If you don't agree with something, let us know about it. We'd love to talk about it. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents. We love you guys. Anything you guys want to add?
No, same thing you said. When you disagree with Mito, feel free to let me or Jose know, and we'll fill them in.
Disrespect is always wanted. Bring it.
But no, thank you guys for listening, and as always, may your Kool-Aid stay blue and the cheese stay on your head. Peace out.
Peace.